our game. We have two gentlemen here. They're just fifth bumping. Dean and Chris, it looks like. And we will have their information up very soon.
Yeah, hopefully we get another. That was a fantastic set in the last one. So interesting take on the red-blue. I'm hoping to see a bit more innovation here from one of these players. And yeah, let's just see what they've come up with.
So looks like...
Oh, here we go. More Amber Steel. And Blurple. Here we go.
Okay, so we've got some very creamy sleeves on both sides. So we got Amethyst and Sapphire.
Yes, so...
Against
Amber Steel.
Amber Steel. We've been seeing a lot of Amber Steel.
A lot of Amber Steel.
Like... I don't know, like, obviously we've got a very small sample size, so we don't know who they're picking, so maybe they're just avoiding the Amethyst decks, but yeah, they're not doing a very good job at dodging the Amber Steel decks for the stream here. And yeah, so this, actually I can see this going either way. I think it seems reasonably even, so both decks have the ability to go a little bit faster, but both decks also have like a bit of a long game as well. So, is this Steel Song? I think Steel Song has just been a little bit more popular today, as we've seen.
Yeah, we see the Daisy, so this may be the more aggressive Diggy deck. But yeah, I think this is not a bad matchup at all for Amber Steel here. It's quite hard for Blurple to stick some of their threats when you put a lot of Singers down and you go very wide. And Blurple also mostly has single target removal with cards like the Fox, the big Hades, Elsa's, these sorts of things. So yeah, if you're playing a play
turn one Daisy by Chris.
Yeah, if you're playing a play style that likes to go very wide, then the Blurple decks can really struggle to sort of consistently remove all the cards that you're placing down.
So you just go Chernobog's turn one, pretty much, or Chernobog's a Magic Brew, or Diablo. It's a really rough day if you don't have one of those at least.
So yeah, so he's Broom and playing the Diablo.
Cool. Yep, easy. Just so. Yeah, if Chris does happen to have any removal for it, and you songs straight away, at least Diablo will cycle your card back, whereas Magic Broom and Magic Broom and Chernobogs,
the draw is conditional.
Deliberately banish your character. So first two lore for
Questing
Chris.
Up to 2, and there's Friends, so...
That's a miss.
Yep, unfortunate for
I think the Blurple deck only really has, like, what?
Not a lot of actions in that deck,
7 actions or something.
So pretty unlucky there for Dean.
Cool, so we have
we got the Mr. Smee, so yeah, this is a very powerful start here.
Obviously, you quest with Diablo first, and then the question is, do you play a Snake?
I think we'll see the Tipo come down here. I think Blurple's going to want to ramp here. Inks a Sail.
All right, cool.
Play the Tipo. So yeah, valuing getting extra bodies out on the board so you can play things like Fox.
Typical Tipo, not particularly strong body, but... typically, we find that Tipo will eventually trade into Smee. So the Smee, it will end up questing twice, and then Tipo will just finish off with the last damage.
Yep. And yeah, I haven't seen this matchup too many times. I do think, if Amber Steel can just keep playing one character every turn and just keep going wider and wider, that is
I think Chris just ignores Diablo. You just quest with
Daisy. I think so, yeah. I think the double quest here. And there's the Snake, so got the hit now.
But he's actually moving along, so yeah.
Quest for 2. So up to 6-1.
He should just play like a 2-1 right now. So does he have a Lilo?
There's a Lawrence in hand there. And we got a Robin Hood. Yeah. So yeah, I think we might see Lawrence come down here. And yeah, just if you keep playing these quests for 2,
just curve up a body. Each character quest for 2.
Yep.
You know, eventually Dean just has to engage. All right. So he'd be at 4 ink this turn, which means he can send in a Fox, and the Fox can go straight into Daisy.
And then replay the Diablo that bounced.
Yep.
So, Inca Tipo. I think we'll see the Diablo quest, and then the Fox will come down.
Yep. So, quest for 2.
Yep. That's good.
Do we see the Fox?
Yep, there it is.
And the Fox.
Diablo.
And send it into Daisy.
Yep. Good value trade there for the Fox.
Picks up the 1 damage and 1 left, so he can just put the Diablo back down.
Perfect.
Easy.
All right, so yeah, not a bad start here for either player. I think Chris has really gotten a fast start on the lore front, but let's see if they can continue to follow up.
So at this point, You
So 2 docks and a Calhoun.
you
That
send
is
the SME. You probably send this. Like, so the question is right now: do you just continue to push your advantage by questing for 4 more and maybe go up to 10, or do you send in the SME to trade with the Fox and then you have Lawrence? That
I think you want to be the aggressor in this matchup as the Amber Steel player.
Yeah,
so I think just questing here is
if,
fine.
if you quest here, it means that Fox will go into Lawrence and Tipo will go into SME.
That's true.
But if you go SME into Fox, your Lawrence can quest for 2, and then Tipo will have to like run into Lawrence. All right, you just go wide. All right, cool. So
Draws 2. I think I see Rapunzel in there.
yeah, at this point, like go. You go. I still feel you go SME into Fox, and then you quest to Lawrence. Otherwise, you get a significantly worse trade.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is fair. Yeah, I guess 6 law, you're not at the point where you're really trying to push for the win, so you might want to consider the value trade here. But yeah, this was a very fast start for Amber Steel, but I think
so
having the
sending that there and then
trade
this,
and then quests.
yeah, quest for 2. Yeah, cool. All right.
So we got 8 to 3. I like that the Blurple player has still been questing with the Tipo and the Diablo and trying to keep up in Lords. Going second, you're obviously not having the initiative with this sort of game, but yeah, you got to keep trying to quest where you can. And I think they've done an excellent job of that.
The Tipo and the Diablo don't have a lot of value. You quest them once and then you pick them up with your snake or your fox, just because Calhoun's there. So and she just loves little units like this.
Yeah, absolutely. We might see Tipo, because Lawrence is a 0/4, but when it's undamaged, it has +4 strength. So we might see the Tipo go into the Lawrence, and then something like a fox can then finish it off.
That is true. We also got Crab available as well.
Yeah, Crab would be.
So he's just going in just to ping 1 damage onto it.
Questing for
Diablo, and
then will we see another fox? It looks like we may. Yep, there it is.
Fox. All right, pick up Diablo.
Yep,
send it in.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that was a very, very smart play. And then will we see the Diablo, or we hasn't inked for turn yet, so we might see Diablo into the Inkwell, and Snake bounces the Fox.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think this gives you the advantage. The Snakes now...
Your Fox had no damage on it, and, like, yes, Calhoun can run into it. Yes, Calhoun can run into it, but, like, it's trading against Calhoun. Yeah.
All right, going very wide here on Chris's side.
Yeah, managed to pick up a whole bunch of extra cards from Doc last turn and just sending these in. So, yeah, obviously Calhoun's very good in very... sort of like combat aggressive, combat heavy sort of strategy. So, so it's going to be able to challenge into anything that Dean really will play. But the question is, like, what is Chris going to do in terms of questing, and whether he's going to force... He has no way to force Dean to, like, come to quest or challenge towards him at this stage.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's no real way to exert Madam Snake. So theoretically he can quest with his Doc for 1, and then Calhoun he can quest for 1. Worst case scenario, they trade. So you're kind of foregoing the lore that you would gain from challenging into him, but you're gaining the lore from questing. Yep.
So I did see an Elsa in hand here. I'm wondering whether we'll see that come down. One line that Dean's probably considering is Snake can challenge the the Doc, and then play the Snake, and Snake can challenge the Calhoun, which clears 2 characters, but then you've got an empty board, so that doesn't look too appealing. We might see the Elsa come down, but Elsa also doesn't have a great...
She doesn't have a great target. She will be able to pick off the Smee on the following turn, so... but then Elsa kind of sits in an awkward situation. I think... Okay, so I think the play is you use the Shmee to challenge into the Doc, then you play Fox to pick up the Snake, and then you run the Fox into the Calhoun. On the following turn, you can use Elsa to pick off the Shmee, which leaves 2 on it, and then you use Snake to pick up the Elsa,
and then you can,
because otherwise the Elsa would have 2 left, and the remaining Calhoun will try to pick it off. All right. Don't you love when you just you make the prediction and just
see in the same lines as the players?
Except, like, for us, like, we can just, like, predict it or say it because we just say what we think, and they have to think it through, like, it's a game, so they got to figure out the lines. But so
how are we going to see the Rapunzel come down here for no healing? it does add another quester onto the board, which is...
Okay, so I think theoretically you don't play Rapunzel because like Smee will just give you 1 damage, right? So if you hold off, at the very least you can play Rapunzel next turn.
Yep.
And just heal the 1 off Smee, right?
Yep.
But he doesn't know that Dean has like an Elsa.
The Elsa, yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah, that makes it tough because it's either Rapunzel or Storm your own character, which you probably don't want to do. So yeah, I think deploying that to the board. Yep, quest for 3. Just try and keep your foot on the gas. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's right. What was his other card in hand?
Storm. So
okay, cool.
All right.
Dean's got a whole bunch of cards of...
Yeah, unfortunately a lot of them are kind of 4 or 5 costs, so he's been unable to play sort of 2 things on the same turn for the last few turns. And the blurple...
He's got 6 ink in total?
Yep.
6 ink in total, looks
so
like.
I think we will see the Elsa here.
So, yeah, like, I might go into, like, Elsa into Snake, and then... then the Snake can potentially challenge
the Calhoun the next turn, or they can both challenge into the Rapunzel, Yeah, this is a tough turn for Dean here, thinking it through. It's,
Chris doesn't have very many resources left.
No.
He's only got 4 ink, so he's just playing 1 thing at a time. And he's just like top decking at this point. Oh, it's like, got only 1 card? Yeah.
Are we going to see Hades here? There it is. Oh, this is... Oh, I love this card so much.
Yeah,
but that removes the Rapunzel, but like, so it takes 2 lore off the board again.
Takes 2 lore off the board,
and it spends the ink efficiently, so yeah. And yeah, this is also body checking the Calhoun and the Smee here. And yeah, Storm... I didn't see the other card in Chris's hand. He is starting to run out of gas here, so... Yeah, very, very interesting. This is what Blurple does. It can fall behind, and it can be risky to play at times because when decks get starts like this,
it does seem to curve out pretty well. So after it does its turn 2 ramp, the rest of the game it does curve out pretty well. So there are some answers. So he's playing Doc, pitches Storm Range on.
Yep, not doing much at this point. So just wants to continue deploying threats to the board and going wide.
Left to work with.
Still had a Lilo. That is a really nice find.
All right, cool. Then you just drop the Lilo.
Yeah. And I think you just keep questing. Just keep trying to because this Lilo just playing it again and again, it just makes it very hard for the Blurple player to make progress. Unless they can add it to your Inkwell, we may see that. All right, so Smee quest for 2.
Puts them up to 17, and then
15.
Sorry, 15.
Yeah, 13 to 15 there. And then will we see the Calhoun quest? I guess the Calhoun, if Hades challenges Smee, takes 3.
I think he just quested, like...
I like the quest here, but I can see both ways. And what 2 costs have we got?
Calhoun will still deal... deal free damage, even if she's being a challenge pawn.
Yep.
So, you just take the law now.
Yep. And the pass,
So representing game next turn if we don't get rid of the Smee.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating. Smee sitting there on 2 damage, but probably going to quest the game out before it runs out of willpower with that passive effect. We do have the Elsa, which can come down and challenge the Lilo, and then Hades can challenge the Smee.
Unfortunately, if Hades challenges into Smee,
then the Calhoun
will have free damage marked onto it. We got Elsa. All right, cool. It looks like we
into the Calhoun. Oh yeah, this is
Elsa can
Elsa into the Smee. Yeah, I like that line a lot.
So only 3 left. Okay, can potentially quest a free next turn. So it still keeps him out of harm's way there.
Yep. But this. Yeah, Blurple doesn't run a huge amount of removal. A lot of cards like Fox and Crab, but those can't really deal with readied characters. So if Chris can just continue to string a draw of characters together and keep deploying them, it's going to be tough for our Blurple player here.
Yeah, like you just quest for all your guys now and then just drop all your other guys. And
so I think that hand
pray that it's all good. All right, cool. So go up
goes up to 18.
Yep. And we got a Smee, Lilo.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
even just Smee on its own here is representing game. So, and yeah, this Lilo, if Dean can stall the game out, it's just going to keep coming back and coming back. So, do you see a genie? And yeah, I'm not sure that Dean is going to have enough ink to sort of play one of his draw cards and then follow it up with something. Yeah, I think it's Genie and a couple of rabbits.
Is that an Elsa though?
Oh, that's an Elsa,
Yeah,
yeah.
so Elsa can run in and challenge another unit. So not enough to challenge off the Smee. So you
Yeah.
can, that's the problem. The Smee will survive.
Yeah, that's right.
No. So you can go Elsa to exert the Smee. Hades runs into the Smee. One of your Elsas runs into the Lilo, and then the third Elsa runs into the dock. So
Yeah,
this one
Doc's-
exerts that, and then Hades goes into Smee.
Yeah. The problem is Doc's got 3 willpower and Elsa's only challenges for 2, so the Doc and the Happy.
Oh, okay, yeah, true, yeah. So
Yeah.
that one goes into Lilo, and
I
then
think this is
the two doctors.
this makes sense.
The
but
two
yeah.
doctors survive at the end. Yeah, cool.
The Body Knights, yeah. Well played, yeah. Really well played from both players there. I think Dean, it was looking really dire early on, but he managed to claw control back. But yeah, just couldn't quite stop the aggressive deck early enough. So,
Yeah, there were a couple of interesting turn plays there. The one that I wasn't sure about is Hades, though. So Hades on the Rapunzel.
I think the problem was if you play your Elsa, like if you can keep inking, you can potentially play Elsa and then play something else on the same turn if you get to say 8 or 9 ink. But with the Hades, it's a 7 cost uninkable, so you've got to get it out somewhere.
Okay, so like he had 7 available, which means that he could have done Elsa and Snake, right?
Yeah.
So if you go Elsa into Snake, you would have removed the same amount of lore off the board, and you would have had a Snake remaining, right?
Yep.
Which on the following turn, you can still play Hades. So you can then Hades into their Rapunzels, and then the Snake can challenge into whatever's left. Would have made much difference? I guess.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think, spending
Maybe
7
it's
on
not.
turn
Maybe
7.
it's not as dramatically as bad as I think it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So. All right. So this is Dig It really sort of like sort of getting it all together. And
Yep.
Yeah. So let's see if we have another interesting.
All right, so Dean
game coming
is
back.
pitching 6. Yeah, Blurple should have a much better time on the play here. And Chris is looking at their hand. Looks like they got the Mine, they got the Happy, they got a Lawrence, which is not bad. They got a Lilo, so not happy with that hand at all. 7.
Getting rid of all of it. All right.
Looking for the Daisy, I think. Looking for the 2 questing 1 cost. Yeah, I guess particularly on the when Chris is going second this game, really wants to try and get off to a fast start, so just digging for that Daisy. And here we go, let's get underway. So Dean going first in this one, kept
Is it
one
broom? Turn
card.
broom?
I think we'll see the broom come down here.
Cool. Turn 1 broom.
Yep.
Easy. Then Chris goes. Turn 1 Daisy.
Let's see, Chris has got a
Daisy or
completely fresh hand here, so I see oh yeah, there is the Daisy there. So yep, pitching 7 paid off there, finding the 1 drop that he was after.
Also appears to have a dock in hand as well.
Is that a
He's just thinking about what to ink,
Cinderella?
right? Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a Cinderella in there too, so there's a lot of good 1 cost options here for Chris. Yep, inks the Happy, plays the Daisy. Yep, makes sense. And on to Dean, who, given that Dean inked Sailed the previous turn, I think it's fair to assume that they would have another ramp card in their hand. I think we're getting mana put into the Inkwell, and then, yeah, whether we see Sail or T-Po. Oh, Goat put into the Inkwell.
Yeah, Goat's a bit of a slow card, but yeah.
Yeah.
Go Sail, and then you put another card in.
And probably looking for a 1 drop off the top there. Yeah, so this is one of the things I kind of like about Blurple is a lot of the cards... Oh, finds the 1 drop. Perfect.
Cool.
So,
all right.
Quest with the Broom.
Broom sticking around for 1 turn. Cool.
Yeah, I really like that when you play Sapphire with other color pairings, you often need to rely on the items plus the Hiram. But I think pairing it with Blurple and just playing a lot of the powerful draw cards, which are the one costs, the rabbits, and in particular the genies, I think are fantastic in this deck.
Yeah, so the Amethyst cards, the Amethyst package is pretty complete that you just have to slot in like a dozen cards.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
That's really it. Like, I was having a look at some lists, and like Amethyst, like all these lists were just like mostly Amethyst, and then plus some Steel cards, or plus some Emerald cards, or plus some Sapphire cards. Yeah. Right. So like it's just the Sapphire package is just like good value. It doesn't require any specific setup. It's just very versatile.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
Now Chris is figuring out what to try to ink right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there was a Smee in hand earlier. Yep. Well, might be considering the Lilo here. Lilo into the Inkwell and Calhoun.
Calhoun, yeah, obviously
that makes
Calhoun,
sense. Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you obviously quest this. There's no punishment for not questing. Unless he does Fox. But you know where...
Afraid of the Fox, maybe? Oh.
What? All right, cool. What's the point of playing the Daisy if you're going to be afraid of the Fox?
Yeah, I think the Crab is also quite... if the Crab comes out on the Broom there and the Broom challenges into the Daisy, that's a bit of a disaster. So I think that's probably what what Chris is playing around. But yeah, it doesn't feel good if you play your Daisy and then you're not able to quest with it. That's
so at this point, like Dean just like quests these and then just like draws. Oh, he keeps them around. All right.
Oh, he might banish the Challenger Bogs.
So he.
Yep, there we go. Draws a card.
Okay. All
right.
Yeah. Cool.
What will we see here? I can see a mana in hand, so we might see that come down. Just to try and start accumulating some more.
If you don't have like good board,
Genie
you don't want to play it. Yeah.
Yep.
So Genie. Yep. Makes sense, and then you can sweep off the brush. Yeah.
Yep. So draws two here off the top.
Two.
Yep.
And yeah, he's looking good.
And Genie's got evasive too, so this is quite hard for Chris to answer.
It's not too bad. You just send evasive into it, or you just cast some spells, go Storm Rage on, or some mines. So like Genie like being 4 willpower. It's like 2 chunks of 2 will take it out.
Yep.
And there's a lot of things that do like a chunk of 2 as well right now in the game. So it's not too bad, but I think like at least this turn seems like Chris could probably just quest with the Daisy because Dean's probably not going to want the tempo.
Yeah, probably going to want to quest with the Genie here. Yeah,
so he's probably not going to Fox his Genie back up. The tempo loss is kind of massive.
Yeah.
So he kind of wants to stick that around. Although, theoretically, Dean could play 1 cost plus Fox to challenge the Daisy. Anyways, cool. So
3. And I think we'll see Lawrence come down unless Chris wants to start trying to go wide here.
All right.
Yep. So now the Genie cannot challenge. That's
Silver. Yep.
Yeah, that card's come up a lot in the last probably 2 weeks, I would say.
Yeah.
And so that is 3 law.
There's plenty of times where it's like I've seen it just come up and
a lot of people have been adding it into their decks. It's quite interesting because it didn't get a lot of play on the initial launch of Azurite Sea, but I guess people have seen something in it that it answers.
Well, like it's played because it's captain.
That's a good point.
So Smee doesn't deal itself any damage.
Yep.
Doesn't fumble about when captain's around.
That's such an annoying mechanic. All right, so 1 for the Chernobogs, and have we got
4 more for another Genie, probably?
The
mana. Okay, cool.
Sense.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's fair. Like if
Genie's just questing for 2. Yep. So now Dean is really starting to get something going here. We've got the Genie questing for 2 every turn with evasive. We've got the mana, which will be gaining 2 law every turn, and that 9 willpower. Even though Chris is playing Steel and has a lot of bodies on the board, it's still very hard to answer.
So he can get rid of it in 2 turns. So he can send Calhoun and Silver into it for 6 turns and send another 3 next turn.
Yep.
Right now the issue is just this Genie. So what's he got in hand? What can he put down?
I think there's a mine in there. There's a few other cards, but just the 9 willpower again. Everybody's running McDuck today. We've seen a lot of it.
Yeah, I think it might be like one of the tech cards that actually pushes a Sapphire over the line for today.
All right, so 3. We might see the Lawrence come down here. And then we might see Ink and get Cindy in the game. But definitely a tough turn for Chris here. I think Dean's looking in a very solid position. All right,
So
Inks
Cindy, yep. And he goes up to 4.
Plays the mine and the Smee.
Yep.
Yep, so just trying to be ink efficient here and get as much out as they can.
Cool. So now he puts the pressure back on Dean. Hey, my location is probably more advantageous or more relevant than yours.
Yep.
So now it's on you to start cracking away at my location.
Yep.
Daisy going in for 2 more law,
Probably Quest, but may want to just put as much damage into the mana as possible here.
No.
Yeah, nah, you got 3, 3, and 3. Yeah, that probably doesn't
just
make sense.
stick chunks of 3 into it. So,
So
probably
Quest for 2.
Quest for 2. And let's see, what's top card? It's probably going to be...
There's
it's
a goat.
All right,
That's a nice draw.
And
then, yeah, I think we may see double challenge on the mana here just to put 6 damage on it. And, yeah, Dean doesn't have an immediate answer to either of these because
I think
Silver's
looks
got...
like he's questing.
Yep, 6 damage there.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. Cool.
Makes sense. Yeah, both of these, because Silver's got 3 willpower and Calhoun's got 2, but with the resist, it means neither of these 2 strength characters on Dean's side can deal with it at the moment. And let's see what Dean's got. I think this will be 6 ink this turn. We did see the goat come in hand, so we might see that come down here. But yeah, I think Dean probably wants to try and control the board a bit here. If there's something like a fox or a crab, I wouldn't be surprised to see that come down. Goat's a little bit slow here.
So it looks like
let's see.
Paying 4.
This may be the goat. Genie. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Okay, so we might have a race on our hands here. So we see 1 for the Diablo, yeah. Yeah, I like it. All these cards kind of cycle themselves, so we'll see the...
see how the challenges trade. All right, cool. So Shonebox traded into Daisy.
Yep,
Did it have 2 math on it?
Yeah, the Genie also challenged in, so that's 4. Yep, so +1 there for...
Oh, cool. That's not too bad.
Chris for the mine.
So Genie's got 1 damage marked on it. All right.
Yeah. I think Dean, if Dean's able to slow the game down and get to sort of turn 8, turn 9, turn 10, and deploy some of the big threats in their deck, like the Hades and the Elsa, then, yeah, they're quite happy to just sort of take the lore off the board.
Do we have a dock or anything? No, we don't have a dock.
Yeah, we've got a Smee, a Lawrence. I think that is a dock, actually, so we might see Smee dock here. But, yeah, that's... All right, so finishes off the mana. There is the potential for Chris to move something into the mine here, which they can then deal 1 damage to a chosen character. Or if we see the dock come down, that could deal 2 damage, and that... that still doesn't finish off the Genie.
Yeah, so Genie's also evasive as well, so
yeah.
you can't challenge into it.
So Lawrence and
This
dock.
is back on it, yep.
Makes sense. And, yeah, I guess the last question is, will Calhoun and Smee quest this turn?
Smee, in theory, you could.
Yeah.
Because you do have captains on board, so he can quest, and then Genie doesn't get a good exchange with it.
Yep. And then with the Calhoun, you would need to send both Genies into the Calhoun to finish it off. So I think, yeah, that one's tricky though.
This is like a really question.
Yeah.
I would personally do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gains the 3 lore while it's there to be gained. I like it. And then, passes back. So, yeah, Chris did a good job there dealing with the mana. We haven't seen any other decks be able to really deal with it. So, yeah, just had a lot of 3 attack characters and 3+3+3 got to 9. So, nicely done. And, yeah, can't quite see Dean's hand here, but would be looking for a card like Hades here, I imagine, to deal with maybe Lawrence. And then, yeah, whether Dean wants to try and race here and just keep questing with the evasive Genies, or whether they want to try and remove some of these characters. They don't have any really obvious trades on the board at the moment.
Yeah, so Chris has guys that you don't really want to challenge, and Dean has guys that aren't very good at challenging.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So, but it does seem like, so Chris is like ahead on this race, so Dean has to start engaging, but Dean does have a much bigger ink pool. So
yeah, just
challenge the silver, look like?
It's looking like that may happen. Or yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see what's in Dean's hand. I see a Hades there. We might see that coming down on the Lawrence. And then, yeah, this Dwarf's Mine is just kind of annoying here for Dean because, yeah, dealing 6 to it is going to take quite the effort because we're not seeing a lot. Like you said, no high-strength characters here. Not really a deck designed for challenging. So, all right, just quests.
All right, so he sends them both into the Calhoun.
Oh, right. Into the Calhoun. Ah, so then they can quest with the Diablo. And, yeah, I think we're going to see Hades come down here.
Yeah, but now Chris just moves the dwarf into the mine. That's able to pick off
the remaining genie.
Genie. And, you know, Smee can either quest or, can challenge Diablo. Yeah, so it's pretty good.
Got 11 to 10 here.
So he gains 1 off the mine off the start of the turn.
Oh, do I have that wrong? Yeah, I think this is where the mine really shines. It we'll see the
you see the dwarf going to work, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Got to start.
Yeah, finally seeing the namesake of the deck. Oh, Chenpo. And just questing. Quest for 4.
All right, so he could have inked and then
ink and then just continues to go wide here. Or we're going to see an ink and then move into the mine. Yeah, I'm not sure what's in Chris's hand again, but yeah, it's got to be a tough decision here, whether to deploy another character or whether to just... So we've got the Cindy, we got Gaston, not quite sure. But yeah, I feel like moving something into the mine is very good value here to deal with that low health genie.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Moves the silver into the mine to deal 1, so then can potentially move the knight character later to deal 2. I think that's very smart.
Yep. And
yeah, it's looking very good for Chris here. Yeah, Dean was really cruising, but then, yeah, just, again, Blurple struggling to deal with these wide boards. They just don't have the answers.
Sometimes it looks like sometimes you with Amber Steel, you just have 1 or 2 turns where you just kind of don't do anything.
Yep.
Because like his hand went super down to nothing, and then like Doc just like pumped it back up. So yeah, you just like slowly use up all your resources, then you like use Doc, and then you draw 2. And sometimes you just seem to link into new cards as well. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There's another Hades. That was a very nice card to have in hand there.
Yeah, so
now the other Hades can challenge into the Smee.
The compulsory inking of your characters.
Yep. And Diablo's
you know what would be good right now? A Lilo.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So 1 for the location, goes to 15. So it's a slow clock here from our Amber Steel player, but it is a clock. So Dean
what's he's got 4?
I think that's up to 17.
All right, so he's questing.
I think you just keep playing out your hand here. Oh, the
Keita. All right, Keita Lawrence. All right, cool.
Wow. That was a nice turn.
That looks like it might lock it down there.
Yeah, I don't see what Dean could do to get out of this one. There's no real kind of board sweepers here, so I think Keita and Lawrence survive. And yeah, unfortunately for our Blurple player, it's just looking like the Amber Steel had too much gas.
Yeah, okay, look, so
yeah.
all this stuff can help getting him some resources, but
yeah,
it's not going to get him over the line. He just needs to be able to disrupt him.
Yeah.
And so is there a Fox in there? Because that's one of the few things that would not be affected by Keita. So any new characters that are played are not affected.
Yep. Can quest for 5.
Could he send his Diablo into Dock to banish it just so he draws a card?
Yeah, that's an option.
Yeah, this is really close, but
yeah. So close from Dean here.
Yeah. And then just sideways,
Chris quests out. Well done to the Amber Steel player. Yeah, I think that's
very clean game.
Yeah, very clean. I didn't think there was any. I thought both players played it very well. It's just the Blurple deck can really fall behind, and without any sort of area of effect removal like the Sisus, the Be Prepared, Scribe Your Swords, all these sorts of cards. Once the opponent goes wide, it becomes very challenging to stop them from just questing every turn with all their characters.
Yeah, I think one of the things that might have made